Well, good morning, and good morning, boys and girls, citizens of all ages. It is 8:02. Power Hour is on the air. Planet Radio 106.7. Listen to the Planet app, and then also listen to theplanet.com. You can stream there if you like. On Odyssey, iHeart, TuneIn, search Listen to the Planet. And then Alexa, you first enable the Planet Online skill, then you say, Alexa, play the Planet Online. Coming up inside the show today, I got a comment that went viral. Question of the day. Have a sick local story I wanted to mention too. Oh, and we're going to have I'm going to play us a voicemail from Brock White Lions, because today's Wednesday, March 26th. Today would have been a White Lions Wednesday. But Brock is now offshore, and he's going to be offshore, I guess, so next Wednesday, I think he'll still be there. Or maybe I don't know, I'm going to check. He has a 14-day hitch, and he left last Friday. You know I'm not good at math. But we're going to play that coming up in just a bit, so hang on for that. Maybe a sports headline, trending headline. Napster. Dude, when was the last time you heard Napster? I didn't think they were still around, but they are. And they just sold. Couple stories coming today. A woman in Colorado ended up with a $13,000 vet bill after her dog ate 5 pairs of underwear. And this other one, a woman robbed a Dairy Queen and made off with $1.50. $1.50. Plus, you're going to have a couple other little things. Some common phrases that you may be saying wrong is on the way. And this, I'm going to give you this right now. In sleep research, this is from Esquire, they found a case of sleep specialists treating an Australian woman who left her home and had sex with strangers while sleepwalking. I mean, I'm just thinking. That's all I'm doing. I'm thinking, dude, is that real? Or was she looking for an excuse? What do you think? Got to say thanks to the sponsors of the morning show. Motor City, 1111 North University, Lafayette. Mendez's Seafood Bar and Grill. 2 locations, Duce in Lafayette and Chemin Metairie in Youngsville. Votros Mini Mart on Peach Bloom Highway, the official Boudin the Morning Show. By the way, Mendez's is the official restaurant. Also, thanks to Louisiana Sewer Solutions. LouisianaSewerSolutions.com. When it comes to doo-doo, trust the doc in Louisiana Sewer Solutions. Also, the official tire shop is Acadiana Tire. Tires are getting slick. Go and see Big Hick. And Ben Telly Golf Carts, the official golf cart of the morning show. You can find them at Acadiana Cars on the Thruway. They got a March Madness sale going on, dude. You better go see them. Save a lot of money on 2024s before the end of the month. And also coming to you live from the Logic Refrigeration and AC Services studio here in the big metropolis of Church Point at Chris Logan Media. Where you want to start this morning, I want to say congratulations again to Anna Denias. She was the winner of our 4 VIP tickets for RCF 1 with the Ragin' Fighting Championship. That is Saturday, Youngsville Sports Complex. Thank you to everybody who went and registered. I don't think if they have some VIP seating available, it is like a handful, and I'm not kidding. General admission, that is starting to sell out. Probably, and I talked to Jared yesterday, by the time Saturday rolls around, all tickets will be gone. So if you want to go, RaginFC.com is their website. Buy some tickets online now, because if you try to get in at the door. Some pretty good odds that it's going to be sold out by that time. And then don't forget, Friday, starting at 4, we're going to be out with Rage and Fighting Championship over at Pete's for the official weigh-in and face-offs. And I'm going to be out there broadcasting live. It may be like a special afternoon version of the Power Hour. I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know I'm going to be there, and we're going to be broadcasting live. 4 o'clock on Friday. And then don't forget, Friday morning, Crazy Tim Crater will be here inside of the Power Hour. He is part of Rage and Fighting Championship. And also heard yesterday maybe he has an announcement. I know he has an announcement, and I think that announcement is coming on Friday, but maybe he'll say it inside the Power Hour. I can ask. I'm not going to beg because, I don't want to get into it with people who can choke me out, people who can knock me out, people who can kick me, people who can injure my spleen by a punch. Dude, I don't want to. Not me. Like whenever those fighters come in, Drake, Ryland, Eric, Jared, Damon, Tim, bro, what kind of questions you gonna ask? I don't know, dude. It's gonna be easy. I don't want to make you mad. Carly Giudice was on a month or so ago. No, probably like 2 months now. I talked to Carly earlier this morning. Next Friday, she's going to be back here inside the Power Hour. Talk about her big UFC win. Next week's going to be action-packed. We got, I think, guests for every Power Hour next week. It's going to be a good one. Going to get to our question of the day coming up. March Madness, maybe. I think everything picks back up. Is it tonight or tomorrow night? But I guess we'll play the Brock White Lions voicemail. And boy, I bet you he put some time into this. You ready for it? Let me connect. And hopefully we're going to get some audio. Today would have been a Brock White Lions Wednesday, but he's offshore, remember? Let me pull up the audio. You make sure that everything is cool. Hang on. Yeah, we should be good to go. So here he is, making an appearance. Brock White Lions.
This is Brock White Lions coming to you live from the belly of the beast, the Gulf of America, stranded offshore like a caged animal. And I've got a message, Chris. I got a message for all of the so-called citizens out there. Are you sad? Are you disappointed that I'm not in studio today? Are you crying into your coffee because you're stuck listening to Chris Logan mumble through an events calendar like a sleep-deprived robot for an hour? Instead of me, the talented one, Assassin Midnight, the Midnight Assassin, the angry samurai, will wipe those tears because the blame's on you. Yeah, you, the ungrateful masses. I've poured my blood, my sweat, my everything into this gig. I've braved the pothole-riddled death trap roads of sunset people, week after week, bouncing my spine into next Tuesday just to bring you the goods. I've been choked out live on the air, sacrificed precious nights with my smoking hot wife. Look it up if you don't believe me. All for you. And what do I get in return? A bunk bed in a room with 8 sweaty, farting, snoring grown men. It smells like diesel and despair in here. That's my reward. All I ask from the masses was $175,000. A little GoFundMe love so I can ditch this offshore prison and go full time for you sorry people. Did you step it up? Did you rally? No. You couldn't even click a button. I didn't get a dime, a nickel. You didn't even start the GoFundMe. Tim Metcalf won't give me a restaurant. Well, here I am, stuck on this rig, screaming into the void while you sit there twiddling your thumbs. You didn't just fail me. You failed yourselves, citizens. So next time you fall asleep listening to Chris talk about his favorite 80s movies, I want you to remember, Brock White Lions is out here fighting the good fight, and you dropped the ball. Brock's offshore because you're not hardcore. Print the T-shirts, Chris.
So do we have to get some T-shirts now? Brock's offshore because you. What did he say right there at the end? Hang on. Let me see if I can pull that back up.
This is Brock
Hang on, I just want to do the end. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. I just want to hear the end again because that could make a pretty good T-shirt.
Good fight. And you drop the ball. Brock's offshore because you're not hardcore. Print the T-shirts, Chris.
Brock's offshore because you're not hardcore. So comedian Brock White Lyons normally here on Wednesdays. He's not today because he's offshore. And, of course, he's blaming us for not getting him his $175,000 GoFundMe done for him to be here full time inside the morning show. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I don't know if we get $17.50. Last week he was talking about Tim Metcalf giving him a restaurant. But I do know this. I do know that Brock will be at Dino's when he gets back because he lost our bracket challenge. The NCAA March Madness bracket challenge. I think I got 35 wins. He got 25 wins. There's no way that he can come back. And the bet between he and I, the loser would have to sit at Dino's Pizza from open to close. So that's like 12 hours, I believe. And if you wanted to take some time off and shorten your time of just sitting there by yourself, you could eat a slice of pizza. So we haven't decided on whether a slice of pizza will be taken off 15 minutes or 30 minutes. We originally said 30, but Brock said, I think we should do 15. And it's going to be totally up to him because he's going to be the one sitting at Dino's when he comes back from offshore. Yeah, 30. I got 35 wins. Yeah, he got 25, and he had some bad picks. There's no way that he's going to come back. He had UConn and UCLA in the finals. And that can't even happen. Also, when he comes back, Shock Jock Jeopardy. That's going to be good. We're each going to wear a shock collar, and we're going to play a game of Jeopardy. I believe it's going to be hosted by J.P. Leonard. And instead of money value, it's going to be shock value on the shock collar, like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you get it right, you don't get shocked. You get it wrong, then you get to, like I would shock him if he gets a wrong question and vice versa. And then the loser would have to take it on 10 at the end of Shock Jock Jeopardy. That's going to be good. Man, we had so many nice plans, and then he was called to go back offshore. So it's going to be a busy time whenever he comes back in a week or so. 8:15, Planet Radio 106.7. Don't forget, Raging Cajuns baseball tickets got a 3-game series coming up against James Madison, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, correct? Cajuns fell against the Tigers last night. Tigers got a pretty good team. Cajuns, young team, young squad. They're trying to bring it together. They got some wins on the season, not taking anything away from the Cajuns. But if you want in and you want a pair of tickets to all 3 games against James Madison, go and register at listentotheplanet.com. And also coming up starting tomorrow, I wanted to mention this. Louisiana Wrestling Alliance, LWA, it's another Saturday Night Heat. They had a sold-out show. What was it, March? What was it, the first Saturday in March, I believe? The Pit at Epic. Their show sold out. Like, they really couldn't let anybody in at the door because they had sold out too. And I heard it was a great show. I wasn't able to make it. I think I'm going to be able to make this one coming up next Saturday. Maybe I'm going to be part of the event. I don't know. I'm told that they may make me part of it. I'm thinking that I'd like to do a run-in. Come running in from the back. Maybe, I don't think you can hit anybody with the chair. That might be like against the Louisiana Commission or maybe the LWA rules. But I like to come in and maybe somewhat like beat up a bad guy. I'd want to be a good guy. I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't want to be a heel. Maybe some kind of American persona, something like that, dude. That's what I'd like. Call me Mr. Constitution, maybe. And then I have, some stars and stripes on, dude. I'm carrying the flag. I'd love that. That would be fun. Write that up, Jamie, for next Saturday. But we're going to have tickets to that. And then also, and that'll be tomorrow, we'll start that on the website. Something else will also start on the website. I know another show coming up at Sam's Place. They had Smile Empty Soul Tantric last Friday night, coming up on April 4th. They have Kill Devil Hill. So that's coming up. We're a little over a week away. We'll have 2 pair of tickets to give away for that. But that's going to be on the website, both of those starting tomorrow. I told you that a comment of mine went viral. And it was a comment it was on my buddy Cupid's page. So Cupid has, and I've been knowing Cupid for a while, very down-to-earth guy. Like, dude, if you cross him in the Dollar General, he would take some pictures with you and your family. Like, he would, that's the kind of dude he is. He's just a regular cat, man, and a funny guy, too. Great performer. And he has a new line dance called Flex, and it's really taken over. I'm playing it at wedding receptions a lot. It's being requested pretty much at every wedding reception. And everybody's doing it. Everybody likes it. But there was let's see if I can find it now. Okay, here it is. So there was a video that was posted by Cupid, Bryson. It was under his real account. And it was a video of a group of people trying to do the flex. It looked like at a bar or at a club. And the poor girl was trying to do the flex. And it looks like maybe she was just learning it. It's a new line dance, right? But she wasn't really getting it. And so I decided to comment, which was totally like just my sense of humor, a joke, right? And a lot of people got it. Some people didn't. And like you just got to go with it. Nowadays, you just got to go with it. If somebody likes it, cool. If somebody don't like it, whatever. So I commented on the post and I said, white people ball messing it up. And over the past, 2 or 3 days, that comment exploded. And it has 498 reactions and 76 replies. And some people are down with it. Other people are calling me some names, whatever, dude. And I was like, yeah, find me. Let's meet up and together we'll go find your sense of humor. Because that's long gone, bro. Long gone. For some, not for all. So the Cupid replies back to my comment, said, bro, I heard you say this as I read it, LOL. So I guess you heard it in my voice. But so almost 500 reactions to that comment. And by reactions, I mean thumbs up, laughing emoji, heart emoji, stuff like that. And 76 replies. And some people took it personal. Only if they were doing it right. Somebody said, you people's dance wild too. Arriba, arriba. Talking because there was somebody else with a Hispanic last name. So dude, there's so much racial stuff going on in here, bro. Then a reply back, you people's drink your cerveza and goes mucho loco. All in fun, dude. All in fun. Starting about other people make your own dance, use your own music. Somebody said one white person, me being white. I commented that white people ball messing it up. Obviously a joke for me. Somebody says white people not from Louisiana. You mean? Yep, because we got a little spice around here, bro. We can do the flex. Somebody said the couples are doing well. It's no salt or pepper. And then, but they, instead of saying O-R or pepper, R-A-R-E. There's a couple other comments on there, and I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? Somebody else said, I can't stop laughing. Don't know how some people made it down the birth canal. LOL. No rhythm. And that's like a white stereotype, right? We can't dance. I mean, around here we can because we got us a little flavor here in South Louisiana. Yeah, dude, that comment's going viral. White people ball messing it up. Messing up the flex. Maybe we need to get Cupid inside the show, man. That would be fun. So we still have a lot to do here inside the second half of the Power Hour. White people ball messing it up. This is a local headline I wanted to get to. Dude, this one, man. You know, and you think of, well, me, like I think of like my family when I hear stuff like this and how angry I would be. We talked about Cain Velasquez yesterday. You know, that kind of thing with him and the molestation of his child. And he kind of took it in his own hands and then, but not really. And then now he's sentenced to prison. But this, a Jeff Davis Parish man arrested for raping a 79-year-old woman in Jennings. Fires me up, dude. Russell Wilson got a new team. Napster. When was the last time you heard Napster? Napster's back in the headlines. Couple stories. A woman in Colorado ended up with a $13,000 vet bill after her dog ate 5 pairs of drawers. A woman robbed a Dairy Queen and made off with $1.50. It wasn't worth it, dude. Some common phrases that we may be saying wrong. That is coming up too. One is buck naked. Right? Buck naked. Bucknaked. It didn't make it on that list, but that's one of the ones. It's not butt naked. Butt. A lot of people say that. And if you say that, that's fine. I think it's kind of funny if you say butt naked, but it's officially buck naked. But it's some sayings like that most people say wrong. That and more, it's all coming up in the second half of the Power Hour here on Planet Radio 106.7. Let's check our weather with Dave Baker. White people ball messing it up. 498 reactions to that comment. I hit up Cupid yesterday. He was like, dog. He was like, dog. Got that big jug. Hang on, be right back. Now I can't get flex out of my mind. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, then turn. This is a video. Poor thing. She's not doing it too well. But she's trying, right? At least she's trying. Hey. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. I mean, but there is a lot of whiteness going on there. There's no denying that. Zero denying. Byron says, butt naked. Is that a stripper term? No, bruh. Anna says she got that white girl rhythm, dude. Anna says, proceeds from the shirts go to the White Lions crying fund. Catherine says, tell Brock he needs to be funnier for them six figures. Megan says, Brock White Lions #1 fan here. RJ on his mom's Facebook. Hey, Megan, what's happening? All right, we're coming back. We're back here inside the Power Hour, 8:28. Appreciate you checking out the show. Remember, we start at 6, we wrap up at 10. 8 o'clock, we have the Power Hour where we go in on what's trending, what's happening for the day. No guest today. I don't think we're going to have a guest tomorrow. Mr. Errol said maybe something about coming by to see about de-winterizing the Chris Logan Media Building. So, I don't know, dude. I don't know if he's going to be here tomorrow. I know Friday we're going to have Crazy Tim Crater, MMA, UFC legend. He's part of Rage and Fighting Championship. I'm excited to talk to him. Now, next week, we're pretty busy. On Monday, we're going to have a couple wrestlers from Louisiana Wrestling Alliance. On Tuesday, April Fool's Day, we're going to have Koa and Sarah, the Cajun Mamas. They wanted to come back on and hang out. So I was like, okay, who am I to tell them no? And then on Wednesday, we have the Roller Girls. Remember the Acadiana? Oh, man, is it the Acadiana Roller Derby? And we had Eat My Pussy Out on, remember? And what was the other two? She was the coach. What was the names of the other two players? This was maybe summertime last year. Well, their season starting up. They said, hey, we want to come hang out again. I'm like, again, who am I to say no, bro? Y'all come hang. And she has one of the coolest names, dude. Eat My Dust, but she says it in French. Eat My Pussy Out. On Thursday, going to talk to Scotty about the Acadiana Veteran Alliance Bourbon Bash. That's going to be cool. That's coming up like the next week on the 10th. And then next Friday, UFC fighter Carly Judice makes her way back on the Power Hour. So it's going to be a great one. Put a little alarm on your phone, dude. I'm not going to say mark your calendars. If you still got a calendar, mark it. But maybe like you turn an alarm on your phone at 7:59. And then at 7:59, boom, comes on. Power Hour with Chris Logan. That would be nice. Did you miss Brock White Lions' voicemail? Normally, today would be a White Lions Wednesday. But Brock White Lions is not here because he's offshore. I see a couple comments on the Facebook Live. Proceeds from the shirts go to the White Lions Crying Fund. Catherine says, tell Brock he needs to be funnier for six figures. John says, ask Carly if her shin hurts. Carly Judice, she's going to be on next Friday. But look, if you didn't hear, since it's White Lions Wednesday, I'm going to play it again. Just in case you missed the voicemail left by Brock White Lions. Let me pull it up. And let me hit play. Here we go.
This is Brock White Lions coming to you live, belly of the beast, the Gulf of America, stranded offshore like a caged animal. And I've got a message, Chris. I got a message for all of the so-called citizens out there. Are you sad? Are you disappointed that I'm not in studio today? Are you crying into your coffee because you're stuck listening to Chris Logan mumble through an events calendar like a sleep-deprived robot for an hour? Instead of me, the talented one, Assassin Midnight, the Midnight Assassin, the angry samurai, will wipe those tears because the blame's on you. Yeah, you, the ungrateful masses. I've poured my blood, my sweat, my everything into this gig. I've braved the pothole-riddled death trap roads of sunset people, week after week, bouncing my spine into next Tuesday just to bring you the goods. I've been choked out live on the air, sacrificed precious nights with my smoking hot wife. Look it up if you don't believe me. All for you. And what do I get in return? a bunk bed in a room with 8 sweaty, farting, snoring grown men. It smells like diesel and despair in here. That's my reward. All I ask from the masses was $175,000. A little GoFundMe love so I could ditch this offshore prison and go full time for you sorry people. Did you step it up? Did you rally? No. You couldn't even click a button. I didn't get a dime, a nickel. You didn't even start the GoFundMe. Tim Metcalf won't give me a restaurant. So here I am, stuck on this rig, screaming into the void while you sit there twiddling your thumbs. You didn't just fail me. You failed yourself, citizens. So next time you fall asleep listening to Chris talk about his favorite 80s movies, I want you to remember, Brock White Lions is out here fighting the good fight, and you dropped the ball. Brock's offshore because you're not hardcore. Print the T-shirts, Chris.
So there it is. That's the voicemail for White Lions Wednesday, left by Brock White Lions. Dude, he hadn't been offshore in a minute. I think the last time he went offshore was maybe November. And so he's, I don't know, dude. Not being offshore for what, December, January, for almost 4 months. Maybe he's going crazy after a few days out there. But I could see him sitting down in his little bunk, dude, probably writing out that promo. Probably took him, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 sheets of paper. I thought I had 2 voicemails from him. I did, but the first one was him messing up doing that, which I kind of laughed. I should have played that. We should have played that one. He started messed up. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do it again," and then he left a second voicemail. But I know little Brock worked hard on that promo, man. Sounded like a wrestling promo, too. But it sounds like he's a little bitter that he has to be offshore, and we're here having fun. You know, you're listening to me reading event calendars, dude. And let's talk about the question of the day. Let's talk about the question of the day, because the question of the day is this: what long-gone brands or products from your childhood would you like to bring back? Here you go, Brock. There is a vintage, nostalgic question of the day. I got this from a story that I read this morning, and it was about brands that you want to bring back from your childhood. In this story, the national story, top answers: Atari, Sega, Nintendo, Crystal Pepsi, Banana Nesquik, BlackBerry phones, iPods, Jolt Soda, Surge Soda, and bubblegum jeans. Our answers. Let's get to a few. Kevin says, posted this earlier. Them jams and skids were comfortable. Oh, he did post a pic. There's a pic of some high-top British Knights, some jam shorts, those socks. I don't know what you call the socks. Remember those knee-high socks? And it had the 3 colors on it, like the 3 rings around. So the picture he has here, it's like the blue, the yellow, and the blue. Yep. An OP wallet. Dude, OP was legit back in the day. And he has a picture of a hypercolor shirt. Ryan says chocolate soldier. That was good, dude. Nice little chocolate soldier. Maybe when you got home from school. And then they came in those, remember those small bottles? What was that, like 8, 10 ounces, those little small bottles that it came in? Billy says Butterfinger BBs. Yeah, dude, those were good. Matt says Fizzies. This is a little older. 8 big drinks, Fizzies. The instant soft drink from a tablet. So you take the tablet, you put it in some water, and it becomes I guess it comes like a soda, like a fizzy drink. Chris says Butterfinger BBs. Oh, and Bonanza. Dude, how many times you and the fam went to Bonanza, brah? You used to have one in Opelousas, if you remember. Well, and I think there was a Bonanza in Lafayette. I remember there being a Western Sizzler in Lafayette, too. That was almost the same lines. But Bonanza, that was one of those places where you grabbed your tray and you followed the line. Chad says Atari 2600 and all the cool games. Catherine says Planters Peanut Butter Crisps. I don't recall those. She says I missed out. Introduced in 1992. And discontinued in the late 1990s. So 92 was my senior year in high school. I graduated in 93. I don't recall those. John just straight up said my childhood. Paul says lawn darts. You want to come play with me? I'm going to reply back, dude. Set it up. JJ says just bring back the 80s. Brian says some huge dinosaur egg jawbreakers. Had a little trip to the dentist after that. Royal or Lance oatmeal cookies. Yeah. Hypercolor t-shirts. And Damien says this, I mentioned this last hour, 10K drinks, kind of like OG Gatorade. Remember 10K? That was put out by Kentwood. And those are really good. Dunkin' Yo-Yos, Nintendo Game Boys, King Vitamin cereal. That was pretty good. Where if you had that, you were on Wick back in the day. What was it? What was a Wick cereal? Was it King Vitamin? And then wasn't it Kaboom too? Amber says watermelon Laffy Taffy. With the actual edible seeds, miss them things. I don't remember those. Kyle says Planet Radio. Oh, wait. Jinko jeans, Yugo cars. Remember the little Yugo cars? You can get them for $29.95. It was just a car. Like it was like metal, some pleather in the inside, a dashboard, a little engine, steering wheel. I don't even know if the Yugos had some glass on it. It might not even had a windshield or glass on the side. I think most of them were white, if I remember. It was just a little car. It was almost like a little car that would be like an off-brand. You know, like back in the day, if you buy off-brand rice, it was just a bag of rice, and then they had this white label on it with black lettering, and it said rice. That was Yugo, car. But it still got you around, dude. 8:39 here on Planet Radio 106.7. This story here, man, I can't even believe I mentioned it. I don't even like mentioning stories like this, but this kind of stuff, it gets me mad. A man was arrested in Jennings for allegedly raping a 79-year-old woman on Saturday. 79-year-old woman. According to KLFY, Christopher Elmo East, age 39, was arrested and charged for first-degree rape and sexual battery of the infirm, according to authorities. The authorities said they were dispatched to the 500 block of Mary Street in reference to a rape of a 79-year-old woman who was dragged into a bathroom of a house and sexually assaulted. After the assault, officers said they then located East walking south on LA 26 near the I-10 park. He was transported to the Jennings Police Department for questioning, later booked into the Jeff Davis Parish Jail. 79 years old. That was somebody's mama, bro. Sick world, bro. Sick world. He'll probably get handled in jail, though. Hopefully. What other kind of headlines we got this morning? Oh, a little sports headline. I wanted to pass this on. Quarterback Russell Wilson signed a one-year deal with the New York Giants worth $10.5 million. Dude, in your life, okay, in your life, maybe your career, you want to be like Kirk Cousins, and you probably also want to be like Russell Wilson. You know, to where you play okay, you're doing okay, but you sign pretty good one-year deals. $10.5 million. Also, I'm not sure if you remember this. This might have been last week. Giants also signed Jameis Winston, and then they have Tommy DeVito. But Russell Wilson now going to be a Giant. He can earn up to $21 million on his deal with incentives. I'm ready for some football to come back, dude. Napster just sold for $207 million. Did you know Napster was still around? Launched back in 99, dude, sent everybody into a frenzy. Might have been a different kind of frenzy, but everybody was in a frenzy. You're downloading some music, putting malware and Trojan horses and all kind of stuff on the family computer. Sent Metallica and them and record labels into a frenzy. Like, what is this? $207 million. According to this story, Napster's like Spotify or Apple Music, but not as popular. Their big selling point is the audio is less compressed, so people who want good sound quality prefer using Napster. A metaverse company called Infinite Reality just bought it. They say they plan to transform Napster into a social and interactive music platform and also virtual concerts. They say you buy tickets like normal and use a VR headset to watch artists perform in more intimate settings. Okay. Here's what they say. They say, quote, imagine stepping into a virtual venue to watch an exclusive show with friends and or chat with your favorite artist in their virtual hangout. Also, you'll be able to buy merch there too. Is that virtual merch or you buy real merch? What do you get, bro? I don't understand that metaverse thing. I'm not up on that yet. So 99 was when Napster launched, got shut down in 2001. Lars and them were mad. Remember, then they relaunched as a paid service, and they went bankrupt. Best Buy bought it in 2008. It's been sold a few more times since then. $207 million, though. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Also, this was trending too. 23andMe's website crashed Monday night as customers rushed to delete their DNA info because the company filed for bankruptcy this week. What they doing with that data, bro? Are you in 23andMe? Better go delete that. Also, this too, the latest thing loaded with microplastics, chewing gum. Damn, bro, what's not bad for us? Couple stories this morning here at 844, Planet Radio 106.7. A woman in Colorado ended up with a $13,000 vet bill after her dog ate 5 pair of underwear. 5 pairs, bruh. I don't know if it was her draws, the husband's draws, the kid's draws. Let's see. 13,000, dude. I'm not trying to make you upset here, but 13,000, that would be for me a decision. That would be do I pay $13,000 to get these draws out a little, what would be a good dog name, dude? Like little Duke? Or do I let little Duke realize what he did, and if he goes down, he goes down? 13 grand, bro. You got to love a dog for 13 grand, son. Sarah Oakley, age 34, adopted Rita, a terrier mix from the dog shelter, back in January of this year. 3 months later, she came home, saw the pup laying on top of a pile of dirty clothes, and her underwear was missing. So it was some ladies' draws. Initially, Sarah hoped that Rita would throw it up, but after 24 hours, Rita was still ill. See, there you go. For some, maybe for some, that the answer to that question is just what she did. Sarah. Oh, we're going to have to go to the vet. Maybe other one was, oh, Rita, you ate 5 pairs of draws? That's on you, bro. Let's see what's going to happen. But let's see how this is going to go down. Cool, dude. They were all in her little stomach. There's an x-ray picture right here. Rita had her intestines removed after an emergency visit to the vet. Sarah received an eye-watering $13,000 bill. Sarah, a marketing consultant from Broomfield, Colorado, said, quote, my first thought was to reach out to Kim Kardashian, but no response yet. She went on to say maybe Kim will see it and come through with a solution like an edible underwear line because as Rita's mom, I just can't afford to buy Skims anymore unless they're digestible. Fold your clothes. Put it away. Why is that a thing now? Like we look for like the bigger problem. Oh, well, I guess I better talk to Kim Kardashian so she can make some edible draws so dogs can digest them. No, fold your clothes, put them away so the dog don't eat it. Says Naughty Rita has previously eaten undies but usually throws them up. Dude, that little dog got a problem. That little dog's a freak. Sarah said, quote, on Friday she was throwing up, but after 24 hours of vomiting, I knew we needed help. Following day, Sarah drove Rita to an emergency appointment at the vet where they scheduled surgery to remove the underwear. Sarah said she's doing really good now and is at home resting. She also says Rita is soaking up the attention and care. I wonder if she's going to need some more draws. Definitely That's definitely an story, dude. You'd go down, look, and I don't have a little dog or a little cat. And I know little dogs, little cats, little birds, and snakes, everything that's your pet, dude, you love them. You love them. But I want you to be honest with yourself right now. Nobody has to know, just in your mind. Be honest with yourself and then be honest with me. You don't have to say anything out loud. We'll just connect. Don't lie, bro. You think about it for $13,000, huh? No? Yeah? 13 grand? Or you let Rita learn a lesson? That's you, bro. That's you and your dog. I'm just saying I would have to ponder that. What about this story? A woman robbed a Dairy Queen and made off with $1.50. It's not worth it, dude. That's not worth it. A woman in Florida, so it was a Florida woman facing charges for robbery of a Dairy Queen at gunpoint, and she only got $1.50. 44-year-old Allison Fetting, 44 years old, dude. See, you should know better at 44. Flashed a gun at a Dairy Queen near Fort Lauderdale and told the cashier to give her all the money in the register, but she didn't get it. So she grabbed what she could from the tip jar, $1.50. It happened about a year ago, February of 2024, and they arrested her the next day. They just charged her on Friday, which is why it's making the news from WPLG. She was already in jail for several other armed robberies and for drugs. I'd have never guessed. She was set to be arraigned for the $1.50 theft sometime today. Trying to get that hit, bro. I guess you get a little hit for $1.50, huh? Better watch you, do that dollar. That dollar might have some stuff on it. And she's going to go eat some cashews, lick the salt off, and then boom, next thing you know, you're in the hospital. Those things happen. What about this? Some phrases that you're saying wrong. Here are some common phrases you may be saying wrong. Some people say, I could care less. That's one. Guilty. But it's actually, I couldn't care less. Some people say one in the same. It's actually one and the same. Now, I'm guilty of this one. Some people say on accident. Oh, bro, I did that on accident. My bad, dog. But it's actually, I did it by accident. I'm guilty of this one too. Hey, you got another thing coming. But it's not that. It is, you've got another think coming. Like that little dog eating the draws, dude. That's what I would have to tell him. Hey, you got another think coming, bro. I dropped 13 grand or you crossed the Rainbow Bridge, you know? 13 grand, dude. If you won the lottery, would you keep your job and go into work the next day? For me, it would depend how much I won. Actually, I work for myself here at Chris Logan Media, so it's either it's either diminish the company or make the company better. I don't work for the man, bro. But about 65% of workers in America say that they would keep working even if they won the lottery. Psychologists say that many people continue to work after winning the lottery because their jobs give them a sense of purpose in life. Yeah, I get that. But dude, depending how much, you would have to think about that. You'd have to ponder those thoughts. Maybe you'd quit for a little while, then go back to work, or maybe you could invest that money, maybe buy a company, maybe buy your company, then you turn into the boss man or the boss lady. And what about this? Husbands might think it takes hours. But how long does it really take women who wear makeup to apply it? Think about that. Ladies, how long does it take for you to put your face on? Fellas, how long do you think it takes? Most women, 73%, who wear makeup say they typically spend 20 minutes or less applying it. 45% say it takes them less than 10 minutes. And I guess it just depends how hard you're going, right? How hard you're going in the paint with that makeup. Now, if you're just real simple with it, I don't even know what you put, dude. What ladies put now, dude? Like some, like a little base? Is that? I've been married since 1996, and I still couldn't tell you any of this. Is it like a base or is it like a foundation? And then you got what? And then depending, again, how hard you go in the paint, there might be some kind of like pre-foundation you put on, and then you put the foundation or the base. Then you might pass a little rouge maybe on your cheek. Some, what do they call that, dude, over the eyelids? What do they call that? Whatever that stuff is, might put a little some of that on. Eyeliner, is that a thing where you put the black line under your eyes? Still do that? That was like a 90s thing, 80s, 90s thing, wasn't it? Then you got to, what is it for the eyelash? Mascara. You got to pass a little of those on. Maybe you got to put on some fake eyelashes. Maybe you just rock the ones you have. So I get it. There's different times. But if I had to guess, like if we were playing Shock Jock Jeopardy and that was a question between Brock White Lions and I would say 20 minutes. I would say 20. 8:55, we're wrapping up the Power Hour here on Planet Radio 106.7. Final hour of the show is coming up. What do we have? We have Queens of the Stone Age. Going to get back to some music. Matchbox 20, the new one from Breaking Benjamin. Lenny Kravitz, Death Cab for Cutie, Korn, Everclear, and more. The final hour is coming up here on Planet Radio 106.7. Stay close. All right. 13,000, bro. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money, my boy. John says, how long do you think Derek Carr spends on his eyeliner? Yeah, he spends probably about 15 minutes. Call Catherine, ask if the Victoria's Secret stash is an extra charge, bruh. 13 grand, dude. Kaboom. Yep. Yeah, piece of, And it says sick. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like when I'm fortunate, my grandfather passed away last year. He was 95. My grandma's up there too. And, but she's still getting around pretty good. And, dude, when I read those stories like that, how you going to do that to a 79-year-old woman, bro? I'm telling you, that might be some Cain Velasquez type stuff. I'm telling you, those the kind of things that you want to. I'm not saying it's right, but it's just one of those things that you want to take matters into your own hands, dude. Just your, I don't know, like to me, like just everything in your body would want to take over that. I don't know. John says, what's the meal prep for today? So I already had one this morning, and this morning was steak, which was pretty good. That was a protein, and broccoli was the vegetable, and a little bit of rice. So that's what most of the meal preps are from Prep House. I think most of them are ground meat, broccoli, and rice. Then I had the one the other day, which was the shrimp, the broccoli, and the rice. This morning I had one of the steak, broccoli, and rice. And then I think there is a chicken, broccoli, and rice that I didn't eat yet. But yeah, some pretty good stuff. Getting ready for the weigh-ins. Dude, I'm telling you, it's really going to be cool on Friday night and on Saturday for RFC 1. They have so many great ideas, man, and it's good to see them all coming together. Just having the face-offs and the weigh-ins at Pizza on Johnston, that's bringing a whole new attitude. Like the fighters are going to be there. It's going to be very cool. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning to do it all over again. And we'll start the show at 6. Back in the Gap at 6:50. Question of the day, 7:15. Power Hour at 8. And then we wrap up the show at 10. So y'all have a great Wednesday. I'll see you back tomorrow morning at 6. Later.